Manchester United beat City last weekend, but lost 4-3 at Spurs in the League Cup on Thursday. Ruben Amorim's side hosts Bournemouth this weekend, but the big topic this week has been the future of Marcus Rashford, who has been left out of United's last two squads.
Is Marcus available for Sunday if you decide?
Yes, of course.
So he wasn't left out today. It was nothing to do with disciplinary. It was.
No. It's the same thing, guys. It's the same thing. It will be the same thing. I feel that I'm always doing the best for the team in my way of seeing things.
We have to be very good. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult. I think they've been playing very well since the new manager arrived. I think we can see straight away, what they want to do, a clear identity, and we will have to be ready to win very difficult duels because they have very good players.
Chaotic week for Manchester United fans because they had the high of winning the derby in the magical 2-minute spell. Then they had the chaos at Spurs, and all the while in between, it's just been about Marcus Rashford and his future. And I quite respected what Amorim said in the press conference. I would have gone to the manager and not the media. How would you have handled it?
I would have gone to the manager. I've done it in the past, and do you know what? You get far more respect and appreciation from the manager as well, because it doesn't look like you're trying to go around the manager's back, going behind his back to get your point across and make him look like the bad guy and you look like the good guy. Ultimately, they're all adults, and respect is not given, it's earned. And the way you earn respect is by knocking on the door. It can be a little bit intimidating initially, especially if you're not used to it, but we're talking about somebody that's been at Manchester United for his whole career, so he's seen some incredible things. He's had great relationships with managers in the past. He's also had great understanding and conversations with everybody upstairs as well, so it's not like it should be a new situation for him, something for him to be worried or concerned about. That just comes from pure frustration. That situation is based purely out of frustration of him being not the best version of Marcus Rashford he knows he could be, and the fans know he can be.
It's such a difficult one because if you look at Ruben Amorim, since he's come to United, he's said all the right things. He's brought loads of people back into the fold. You look at Diallo, we've been wondering why we've not seen this guy for the last year. And it feels like he's given everyone a fresh opportunity. So when this quote comes out from Rashford, it's almost like, well, you have a grand opportunity here to revitalize your career almost. And I think it was probably disappointing for Amorim. And I think when you're playing a derby game and you don't take two attackers like that to the game, it's a message. It's like, well, I can do this without you. And I think for him now, he has to set himself a challenge. Let me work to get back in the team. And if it is the end of my journey here, at least let's end it on the bang and let me put myself in the shop window. But I don't think any United fan would have ever thought that the Marcus Rashford story at Manchester United would end like this. He's their boy wonder. He did amazing things since he broke through. And yeah, it's just a shame that it looks to be ending on a sad note.
It's probably terrible for him as well because you've got him being left out and then Garnacho the same. And the manager said the reactions of the two players have been chalk and cheese. The one has upped his game in training. He's done, just so much better. And then Rashford has gone the other route as well. That comparison, you want the reaction that he's been seeing from Garnacho.
Yeah, you do. And it speaks volumes, the reaction, as you mentioned there. Look, there's a lot of pressure from Garnacho. There's a lot of pressure from Diallo. There's a lot of pressure from a few of the wingers that you thought were initially out of the picture, out of the equation. And all of a sudden, they've leapfrogged him. Now, on a personal level, do I think that Marcus Rashford is a better technical player overall than some of these guys? Yes, I do. Which means, in my opinion, he should be playing ahead of them. There's something major going on behind the scenes for him not to be playing. And if he's being brutally honest with himself, and I hope he is, he would know for a fact he's not given 100% over the last, year and a half maybe. And it's clear for everyone to see outside of football. But now the managers are starting to pay attention to that. I
mean, Jermaine, we're always being told it's about what happens on the training pitch. If you can't see a player starting, why? You were just saying with Ahmad, you couldn't understand why he wasn't playing, and he's obviously doing well now, and it's frustrating you even more because why haven't we been seeing all the time? But how much of that is about what happens in day-to-day training? A manager must be seeing something that he likes or doesn't like, and
everything. Look, football matches are played once a week, twice a week if you're lucky. And I say lucky because every football player wants to play a match rather than training. So the rest of the time you're going to be in the training ground, training in front of the managers, and they're keeping a close eye on you. You're being recorded, you've got heart rate monitors on, you've got GPS monitors on, you've got cameras all over the place recording your every movement. There's no hiding place. So if you're not putting the work in, it's not going to be long before literally everybody at the training ground knows it. And when the message gets back to the manager, it's like, right, well, who has been working hard? If he's not prepared to dig deep and really, get himself out of this situation that he's in, he's been working twice as hard, so he's going to play.
There's something to be said as well about Manchester United as that sort of club, and it's only right to say there probably is a different level of expectation on Marcus because he is one of their own, he's homegrown. But I think with that comes a sense of something that should push him to go even further. And I mean, the manager came out and said, we look at everything. And it was quite a strong statement that if this guy's saying he looks at everything and you're not in the squad, it means that something's going to miss somewhere. But you just hope that he can take it in good stride. These are moments that make players or break players. He's 27. He could be at the peak of his powers.
He's not a prospect anymore, is he?
Yeah. So hopefully he can use this as fuel to turn it around because there is a player there. I don't think you achieve what he's achieved if you're not a great player. Agreed.
Well, what kind of challenge are they going to get from Bournemouth tomorrow? That's United because, on the weekend when they play, that's on Sunday. Because obviously Bournemouth were unbeaten against them last year. They come off a draw against West Ham. They won 3 in a row before that. And Donny Iraola's cooking something.
They are a really well-coached team, and I think they're kind of going underneath the radar a little bit. If they were to win this game, and City didn't get a result, they suddenly go into the top 4 potentially for a little bit. And it just goes to show you the coaching job he's done. But they've got some really great attackers. Like Semenyo is probably one of the better wingers in the league this season. Defensively, Stu Kekeres is popping up with goals and assists. They know how to play football, they know their identity, and they know how to exploit teams' weaknesses, especially over the last few games. So Amorim's probably going to have to prepare really well for this game because it could become suddenly a shootout about who's got the wits about them, who can score more goals. So I'm expecting an exciting game from it, to be fair.
Oh, a shootout. I absolutely love that.
I don't know the exact date, but it's going to be for a long. And that's it. It's part of football and you continue.
And is Marcus available for Sunday if you decide to select
Yes,
him?
of course.
So he wasn't left out today. It was nothing to do with disciplinary. It was
No. It's the same thing, guys. It's the same thing. It will be the same thing.
Ruben, can I just ask you what you're most encouraged by, just talking the span, going forward to this game, what you're most encouraged by with your team and what you're most concerned about, what you need to fix quickest going into this game at the weekend?
I think we are improving near the opponent box. We had some games that we are near the box but without real threats. You could see different things today. And you can see that we can shoot, we are near the goal, and you feel it, you really feel it. I think is a good thing in our team. I feel that our team is faster, are pressing more, the physicality is improving, the understanding of the game, and you can see it by the controlling of the game, and you see it more. Especially in this game, but also in the last game, we understand more the position and the movement that we should do. So there is a lot of things, but today is hard to think in the good things. We are out. Let's focus on the next competition.
With Mason being out for a while, obviously it means other players need to step up. You played Anthony tonight. He's obviously had a tricky time at Man United throughout his career so far. But what have you liked? What you've seen from him so far, and what are you hoping to get more out of him?
He needs more confidence. If you remember the Anthony, and I play against him in Ajax, he lacks a little bit confidence to go to 1-against-1. So he will improve. But he's working really hard and he's trying and he's playing more inside than outside, especially in this game. And he just have to do that, to work really hard, and I will help him to be a better player.
Just on Mason again, I think he's only played something like 33 games out of 78 for the club. Will you use this period now where he's out to try and get to the bottom of why he has had so many injuries?
That is not my department. What I can do is to help Mace to teach him how to play our game when he's recovering. Try to use that time for him to think in different things. And then I think is the worst part is that we don't have time to train like we should do when you are recovering for a lot of injuries. So we are always traveling. We have games, trainings. We don't have the team, all the team together, and this is really hard to recreate the game before they come to the game. And you can see with Vic. Vic was recovering. They train really well. We push him. We make all the sprints that he should do before to come to a game. But the game is a completely different world. So they have to have more time to train. So it's really hard. We try to manage that with rotation. But even with rotation, it's really hard to have all the squad. So with Mason Mount, we are going to help him. It's really hard for a player to be out for so long. And he's trying really hard, the same as Anthony. If they try really hard, we will help them until the end.
Ruben, it feels like quite a while since you played at Old Trafford. How much are you looking forward to sort of being back there and you lost last time? How sort of eager are you to make that place a fortress again and stuff?
Yeah, it was really hard. The Nottingham game was really hard to lose that game in the way that we lost. So I'm always looking forward to hear that song and to play with our fans and to try to put some happiness in their lives, because today was really tough for sure for them.
You talked about the 3 days another game, 3 days another game. What would you like to do with more time? What would you like to do that you can't do at the moment?
Training. That's simple. Because you are rotating players. When you rotate players, it's really hard to work in every connection. So if you are always working with a different guy next to you in the more or less in the same position, it's really hard to work on that connection. And we start in the middle of the season, and we already know. So if I have more time, we will use it to train the team.
Ruben Amorim, correct? Was Manchester United the best team yesterday?
After 55 minutes. Because 55 minutes, you saw Anthony, you saw Højlund, also two guys that I don't see Højlund as the leading striker for Manchester United. If you're telling me...
Were you trying to say elite? He's not elite?
He's not elite.
Okay, because I agree with you.
And he's not at the level Manchester United need him to be to take them to where they used to be, right? In the promised land, Champions League, competing for the Prem. He's not the guy. Anthony, we know he's not the guy. And so once they made the substitutions and took them off, and Amad Diallo comes on and Xerxes comes on, there's a massive difference. You can see right off the bat, and Kobe Manu also came in.
Look at this.
Yes, they were gifted goals, but also they're the ones putting that pressure on it. And is Anthony doing this? I'll tell you right now, he's not doing this.
Look at this.
It's poor goalkeeping.
Look at this.
But give credit to Amad Diallo for getting into the game.
You're 100% right. And look, if they don't press, that doesn't happen. But they were gifted 2 goals. How do you not find a way to stop the onslaught from Tottenham? And how do you not find a way to make those decisions a little bit earlier? I think that goes on Ruben Amorim, because when he does make those adjustments, all of a sudden, Manchester United looked like a much better team. This could have been a much different match had he picked the right squad early on.
He has to rotate. He has to give players the opportunity. And I think the best part for Ruben Amorim is he came in when the team was in disarray, right? It's a complete travesty right now where Manchester United are at. So the expectations are pretty low. As opposed if he took them over in the summer and then they were just rubbish for 6 months, now you're already saying, oh, did we make the wrong decision? He has the freedom to mess around and tinker.
I agree,
because
but how many matches?
Are so low.
How many matches for a trophy in the Carabao Cup left? 3? 3 including this one? It's a good opportunity to get a trophy early in your career.
I think it would give a full sense of security.
Yes.
So what he's doing is kind of hanging out Anthony, Højlund, and saying, here's your opportunity. When they don't play well, take them off, bring the guys on that he normally plays. The first phone call he's making after that game is to the board level and saying, this is what you've got me working with. Until you get rid of these players, I can't do much. And I totally agree with him. I think every decision he's done so far has been perfect for Man United. Getting rid of Rashford's a big decision. Getting Anthony out there, letting him kind of make a fool of himself, kind of be like, he can't play in this team, get rid of him. So he's allowing now himself the grace to be like, if he comes in and wins this year, next year they're expected to win the Premier League. That's just the expectation. With the same group. It's like, no. He keeps telling you, we're going to suffer. It's a bad team. Get rid of them as quick as we can, and then we'll start implementing from January onwards.
Yeah, I just wonder how much money they actually have to spend. Maybe getting Rashford's wages off the books helps. I don't know how much money you're going to get for Anthony. How much you really think you're going to get for Anthony in the open market?
At this
20 million if you're lucky?
At this moment,
that's still a win, given how bad he's been.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
You know at this moment in time, though, you just want him out the building so you can at least establish a culture and hard work and driving towards what you want to do.
I get it. I just think it's weird to sort of waste an opportunity.
If Man United finished 10th this year, no one really cares.
No one.
Yeah, of course.
Really
and that's why I say, why throw away an opportunity to win even a smallish trophy like a Carabao Cup? Why throw away that opportunity by using it to show how bad Anthony is when we've seen it?
I prefer to lose in that fashion than they would have got Liverpool, right? And if Liverpool beat them, massive arch rivals, and let's say they beat them 5-6-0 over the 2 legs, that would have been a harsher way to go out than at this moment.
True.
Andoni Iraola said Manchester United are more in control of games since Amorim was appointed manager. Andoni Iraola has been impressed by the impact Ruben Amorim has made at Manchester United. Iraola takes his Bournemouth side to Old Trafford on Sunday with the Cherries sitting 7 places but only 3 points ahead of their opponents. Amorim's stint began with a draw against Ipswich, since when United have won 4 games and lost 3, with last weekend's derby triumph over Manchester City followed by a League Cup defeat against Tottenham. I think they are different, said Iraola, whose side won the equivalent game 3-0 last year. Even when they are losing, when they want to risk a little bit more or open the game a bit more like yesterday's second half, they can do it. I see they manage very well the moments of the game. I think it's going to be difficult for us. One weakness Bournemouth could look to exploit is from set pieces, with United conceding regularly from corners in particular, while it has been a profitable avenue for the Cherries. Iraola said it's true that they've conceded a good amount of goals from set plays, but I think they have very good defenders and a lot of the goals are very good execution from the opposition. I hope we can, as we do every week, prepare well also for set plays, try to be successful. We are not the tallest of the teams. More the opposite, we are quite a short team, but I think we are having some success in our offensive set plays. Bournemouth saw a 3-game winning run ended by a draw against West Ham last time out, but they go into the weekend sitting in 6th place in the table. We have to go step by step, said Iraola, who expects to select from the same squad. We still need more points. 25 is a good amount, but if you see the standings, every team is quite together, so we have to continue trying to add points. I think they play in a different way, different system, different approach to the games. I think they keep the games more in their control. They've raised the possession they have on the ball and they have really good patterns. If we allow them to dictate the game and to be the team taking the decisions on the ball, it's going to be very difficult because I think they are playing very well. They are conceding very few chances, very few goals, they have very good defensive stats. They already had this with Erik ten Hag this season because they've signed also new defenders, good defenders, and they've improved from past seasons defensively overall, and I think they are continuing now. It was a different story defensively on Thursday for United against Tottenham, with United trailing 3-0 before eventually losing 4-3. I think probably they deserved more, said Iraola. A lot of goals, but I think they had very good moments. Playing against Tottenham away, it's always a difficult place to go, and I think overall in the games they've been composed.